was maybe 8 years old, I got a dirt bike for my birthday, a small little enduro dirt bike. I grew up on a farm, so I was primarily like riding in the cornfields and, in our yard and ditches and stuff. Then we moved to another house on a different acreage, and my best friend lived a mile west of that house on a gravel road. And then my dad's farm shop was a mile south of that house on a gravel road. So I could ride to my best friend's house and to my grandma's house where my dad's farm shop was whenever I wanted, like by myself. So it really, I had like complete freedom, at a pretty early age, all based around this motorcycle. My name is Mike Gustafson. I build custom motorcycles as MONNOM Customs. You're molding this thing, and it's a very delicate process, whether it's wood or steel. You're just taking this raw material and molding it and refining it into this beautiful shape. So I don't see wood and steel being that different. I think that it legitimately comes from the idea that I'm just working with what I have. The red bike is a 1973 Honda CB350. That bike came from a barn in rural Iowa, around the area where I grew up. The blue bike is a 1978 Honda CB550 that I got for free through a trade on Craigslist. So because it was free and it was in really bad shape, it really gave me kind of full creative license to do whatever I wanted, to just experiment and try some things. You've easily doubled the lifespan of that motorcycle and kept it from, sitting in a barn or being taken to a scrapyard or somebody's junk pile. To take a bike out of the shop onto the street for the first time, it's very exhilarating. And the way that the bikes are set up, it is a very visceral experience with the smells, the vibration. You're low, you're down on the road, you've got gasoline dripping once in a while. I mean, you've got smoke, and it's an all-encompassing feeling. My first two builds were just for me. There was no client, there was no person that they were being built for, so it was literally just, what do I want to do? How do I want to make it different? How do I want to make it functional? The purpose of a motorcycle is very singular, so that's almost easier in that sense, because you know what the machine is supposed to do, you know how to get it to do that. So then it's just an exploration of design and different materials and elements within that set parameter. street bike, you're just following the road. You know, you're following a line that's already been drawn, and then you juxtapose that with a dirt bike where you're drawing your own lines. One of the things that draws me to riding dirt bikes is just that belligerence and the just go for it, get muddy, get dirty. If you break your bike, you can fix it, you know, kind of mindset. It's a great stress release, but it's much more physical than riding like a cafe racer on the street. Riding motorcycles in general is very meditative, where you can't really think about anything else. It's a very kind of zen, you know, in the moment feeling. Because when you're ripping through the woods at like, you know, 50 miles an hour around trees, there's no space in your mind to think about, you know, work. Thinking back to when I was a kid, you know, drawing was a huge part of my childhood. And like every kid draws pictures of like the coolest truck or the coolest motorcycle or whatever. When you're an adult, connecting those lines, you know, in real space with actually like making something, that's what kind of makes it a full circle for me, is kind of making those lines a reality of the drawings that I drew as a kid with these motorcycles, or at least that idea of like the fastest, like coolest motorcycle that you could make. It is the exact same feeling as when I was 8 years old, riding a dirt bike on my farm growing up.